Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 2021 money and career reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Cancer, July 2021 money and career. Cancer. Cancer, July 2021 money and career. Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Cancer, July 2021 money and career. Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. So at the top is the energy that grounds us. At the bottom is the energy that grounds us. So let's see what the tarot has to say. At the bottom we have the Knight of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Then we have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Fool. There's a sense of needing financial stability, which is something that you might be saying, duh, of course. You know, this is absolutely necessary, but also creative independence. And you might be finding that it's very hard, Cancer, at this point to have the financial stability that is desired and the creative independence that is calling to you. So it can be that we're pulled in two separate directions, but we have to take that leap of faith. We have the Queen of Cups, which is water sign energy. Of course, it represents us, but it also represents Pisces and Scorpio. And then we have the Six of Swords, gathering up our information and being able to move forward. Now let's look at the chakra energy for this time. Cancer, July 2021, money and career. Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Visualization. This is the third eye chakra. And a lot of people give visualization a really bad rap. You know, they sit there and they say, you know, I visualized it, I worked on it, it didn't happen, it didn't change my world. But here's the thing with visualization. It's supposed to open up the doorways. So when our third eye is saying visualize, see it and start to believe it. It isn't saying that it has to be one way or another. It's saying that your mind doesn't know the difference between make-believe and reality, which is something that I always find to be scary and also absolutely amazing. So when you start to visualize, when you start to imagine it within your own head, that something that seems so out of reach is possible, we're making those connections within our own minds and saying, there's more to me. There's more to me, and there's power to me, and there's brilliance to me. And so our mind starts to believe that something that once felt impossible, something that we are visualizing now, working on now, can come true. It is a part of our lives, or it is true. Because again, our mind does not know the difference between reality and make-believe. So this is highly important. And so the visualization is something that we need to embrace within ourselves. That's why meditation is so important. It's either the clearing of the mind so that we can start to organize our thoughts, or it's the focusing on one thing within that meditation to be able to bring it forward, to be able to manifest it within our world. Now, the energy that we need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Cancer needs to be mindful of? July 2021, money and career. What is the energy that Cancer needs to be mindful of? July 2021, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. It's the Queen of Wands. It's that fire sign energy coming in. It's the gift that we have being given right here. We can get really excited about things. Now, fire sign energy is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Quite frankly, and most bluntly, this could be that Spirit is saying be mindful of fire sign energies at this time. But we want to be mindful of the people who are super passionate about things. This is why we say energy and just not the people we are to be mindful of. Because this can be any person. This could be any sign, any person. And the intensity of their passion is going to be infectious. The Queen of Wands does not need to lead the charge, but she very much is in the thick of things. She very much is bringing things forward in a powerful and brilliant way. So during this time, we need to embrace that. We need to embrace this brilliance. We need to embrace this passion and not be swept up within it, because it's going to boil the water. And if you just leave a kettle on, boiling on the stove, the water is going to dry up. And we ourselves do not want to be dried up during this time, do not want to give all our passion, all our desire to somebody. We need to harness it for ourselves. So during this time, big dreams, explosive personalities, people that seem larger than life, we're going to be super attracted to these people. People who push things, like go at it like a monster, bodybuilders, sports people, really successful people. We're going to be drawn to them. But they're going to want to engulf us. There's going to be a sense that it almost feels like it's my way or the highway type of thing. And we don't need that, Cancer. We don't need that. We can't sustain that energy during this time. Now, during this time, there's also the sense of the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But in a money and career reading, this is the money. And we like the money. But this is slowly and steadily building something. This is being very logical. This is being very practical. This is doing something in a very certain way, being very succinct about things. But we have the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is this creative, passionate, fiery energy coming to us from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, pushing the boundaries, opening up the door, moving us closer and closer to where we want to be, to where we need to be, to what it is that we desire. And so here, this is the passion. This is the reason we get out of bed in the morning. And we have this competing with the stability, with the tried and true way. There we go. So what Spirit is saying here is that there can be a bit of a conflict, because how do I go after what passionately inspires me, what brings me forward in career, or what I want to develop into a career and still be stable and secure? Can I take that risk? Because we have the Fool, and the Fool is a little bit of an instigator during this time. It's saying jump and go after it. Now here's the thing. If you jump and you don't have the money to support yourself when you do that leap of faith, that can be absolutely terrifying. And if you say, don't worry, I'll live in my car, I'll, do odd jobs along the way, that's one thing if you're that type of person. But if you're not, you might be having to work 2 jobs at the time, balancing things that you thought you'd never have to balance. So there's a little bit of apprehension, because it's going to be so strong within us to say, I'm jumping, I'm going after it. But the Fool is saying that for us at this time to embrace our prosperity, to move forward our careers, there's something that we have to think out of the box for. And thinking out of the box, again, is not going to come that easily to us, because the Knight of Pentacles, slowest moving knight, is like, let me have everything all set up first. Let me make sure that everything is going to be perfect, that nothing's going to go wrong, that all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, and I've checked it over 15 million times. So this isn't going to be as conducive to saying, go for it, as the Fool is. So we can find ourselves wanting to jump forward in a certain way and then being pulled back. There is a sense that we need a safety net. Somehow we need some sort of assurance. Unless you're the type of person who says, again, I can sleep in my car, I got this all figured out, I'm just going to go for it. If that's your personality and you can do that and not and not be worried. I'm a severe worrier, so that would be very anxiety driven for me. This is going to be a time where we need to go after what we desire, what we want, and we need to open up the door. But we need to do so in a more logical way, in a way that says, okay, maybe this is my hobby, and my hobby, I'm putting time and effort into it every single day. I'm working on it. And then as it builds to a certain point, or when it builds to a certain point, this becomes my full-time focus. This becomes what I dedicate myself to. But this also energizes me. It moves me forward. It brings that passion back into my life. It brings that beauty and that awareness. With the Queen of Cups crowning us, there's a powerful sense of this is who I am. And the Queen of Cups, I remember one of my tarot teachers telling me that the Queen of Cups is only second to the Empress in her sacred femininity, in her power of compassion. And that's a really powerful queen to have in your corner. Now, the Queen of Cups is love and compassion. The Queen of Cups is you, Cancer, quite encapsulatingly. And this is going to be a time where our emotions have to be in it. Our heart has to be in it. And we can be having a bit of a struggle because our heart can be overwhelmed. There can be trials and tribulations that we have been through that has broken our heart in one way or another. And we can't give our attention the way that we want to, the way that we need to, the way that we're striving to within our lives. The Queen of Cups is saying here, I need to embrace my power, and my power comes from my emotions. And if my emotions aren't in alignment, if I'm all over the place, if I'm going through this kind of internal war with myself for my passion and my career and my stability and my security and the risks that I want to take, how will I stand confidently within myself? And this is a time where we might not feel as confident as we are portraying to others. This is a time where we might have to ask some difficult questions and things might get a little tricky at times. But this is a time for us to say, my emotions matter. I matter. I need to connect. I need to see things more honestly for myself. I need to break down the barriers and I need to be me. And that might sound silly when it comes to money and career because it's like, well, how the heck is that going to help me? If we do something that goes against us, we don't have that spark to it. We don't have that spark to us. And that spark sets people apart. That beauty, and it can be when you're selling, right? So let's say you're in sales and you want to sell this product to people, but you need to have that personable spark, that sense of, I believe in what I'm doing. Even if it's, a means to an end. Even if, I remember I had a professor tell me she went door to door, this was back in the day, selling vacuums to people. And she did it because she had this goal, because she was going to get herself to graduate school and she was going to become a professor. And that was her dream. And she became, it's an amazing story. She became one of the first women to graduate from Yale, to be a female and graduate from Yale with a doctorate. And so when you have a dream behind it, when you have this motivation behind it, even if you're not, let's say, passionate about vacuum cleaners, you're passionate about the goal, you're passionate about the beauty that you're letting into your life. And that's going to be what is shining here. That's going to be the brilliance that is us. It might not be the goal of, I love my job every moment of every day, but it's, I love what this is going to bring me, like how this is moving me forward, how I'm able to support my family, how I'm able to, to have doors open to me or learn different things and have different ideas come my way. It brings us then to the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is so interesting because during this time, as much as we want stability, we need to move forward. Cancer, you're not going to be satisfied just saying in the same old humdrum. There's a sense of, I need to break down barriers, I need to move forward towards something greater, and this is gathering up our knowledge and our information and going for it, and going towards something bigger than us. The waters can be choppy, absolutely. It can be overwhelming, yes, it can be. But there's something exquisite here that is coming. And it needs to be examined, it needs to be looked at more deeply and honestly, and it needs to open us to this path. So as we jump, as we're told and crowned by the stars within the umbrella of the Fool, and as we know that every single hero's journey starts with somebody being called a fool, starts with a foolish dream, a foolish desire, a foolish wish of the heart, then we start to see ourselves kind of exploring. we start to see ourselves moving forward. And there's going to be a point during this time where we say, I just have to go for it. I just have to go for it. And it might not be that we put everything on the line, though for some of us it might be. Just be careful, okay? This isn't run away, join the circus type of energy. This is almost, I want to change, and so I'll run away and join the circus and see what happens from there. But we need to do what's right for us, not just what we see to be the most extreme during this time. So that's the warning from Spirit. But the power that comes is extraordinary here. So let's dive deeper. Cancer. Show me deeply, Cancer, July 2021, money and career. Show me deeply, Cancer, July 2021, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. The Page of Pentacles. At the center of it all, going more deeply into ourselves, is us being a student of our prosperity and what prosperity means to us, how we develop that prosperity, what we want, where we want to be headed, what we're looking for. And it can be that we're breaking a convention. We're breaking this sense of, but this is how it always is. Like, this is how it needs to be done. And we're saying, but this is me. And this is how I'm calling wealth into my life. And there is this need to kind of test the waters first before we just jump in completely. But there is this brilliance here that is moving us forward. There is this time to gather up information, to ask questions. You're going to see that knowledge starts coming your way, and you're thinking about XYZ, right? You're thinking about this project that you're working on or something that you've always wanted to create. And then all of a sudden you stumble upon a podcast or, a book or a movie or whatever it is that starts to give you more information, that starts to head you in this direction. And you're like, wow, I didn't even know that I needed to know this. I didn't even know that this was part of my journey and part of the prosperity, of the wealth that I'm building within myself. Carry a notebook with you. Carry a notebook, keep your phone on you, talk in your ideas to your phone, or jot them down on a notebook because they're going to be opening. Now, the subconscious chakra message is inspiration. This is the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is a tricky chakra because it's where our creative and sexual energy is held, but it's also where a lot of negativity from this life and past lives are held. So as much as we want to break forward, we might be finding something from this life that is holding us back. We might be finding something from past lives that is knocking us down, and we need to explore this. We need to look at this more honestly, more openly for ourselves and say, what is it? What is it that's denying me? And why is it that this energy of doubt, of fear, of meekness, of hurt is overpowering my desire for success, tenacity, insight, and ideas? It brings us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, which is the King of Pentacles. And it's going to be being so cautious that we have to lay everything out. And again, I want to emphasize, because I'm sitting there thinking to Spirit, like, there's nothing wrong with being cautious. There's nothing wrong with looking at all angles of things and saying, but I need the comfort. I like to be on the grid. I want comfort within my life. Now, if you can go off the grid and live perfectly happily, that's awesome. Here, it's making the conventional way to obtain wealth and power the only way of wealth and power being in our lives. And what Spirit is saying is, look at what you value as much as money, and look at the money that you want, and see how your particular gifts can start to embrace the prosperity that is coming in, can start to add to it, can start to guide us in a different way, can start to look at things quite differently, quite powerfully. But it's also not falling into everybody else's convention, so that we become these drones that drive into work, drive home, and you see them in the cars as you're driving by, and their faces just look so sad. It's like your resting face is just one of disgust because the world has gotten disgusting within its monotony. And that's what we're actually rebelling against during this time. Our subconscious rooted message is the Eight of Swords. At our root, we can feel stuck. And that makes sense because there's such a war of ways to move forward, of things that we're pushing towards, that the Eight of Swords comes in and it says, I can't do this. I can't move forward the way that I want to. I don't know what I desire. I'm hanging on to a dream that doesn't fit me anymore, a place that I don't want to be anymore, but it should be, right? Because this is what somebody said, this is the pinnacle of what success is, what happiness is, what love is, and it's not right for me. And so I'm doubting it, but I'm trapped. I'm trapped within my own mind. I'm trapped within other people's expectations. I'm trapped within my own expectations of my life and the silent dying away of a dream, and which might seem a bit dramatic, but for some of us listening, it's not going to be dramatic. It's going to be the nail upon the head. So here, it's not falling into the trap. It's knowing that I can walk away. I'm free. Even if that walking away, you still have responsibilities, you still have things needing to be taken care of. So it might be that it's just starting to pull away from the cage within the mind, which is what the Eight of Swords is. Now, the subconscious crowning energy is the world, and that's what we want. We want the world to open to us. We want to celebrate ourselves within the world. We want to see the great expanse of what we desire, of what we want, of what we need, and what we love. It's a celebration. And then our subconscious, deeper energy is the Page of Cups. We ourselves are queens, but we're also students, which is a brilliant combination. We are the rulers, but we are the learners, and we are going to be getting information from the most unlikely of sources. But do be mindful, emotions run high during this time, and we can make very impulsive decisions thinking that emotionally I am being aligned. So this is something that takes meditation. This is something that takes okay, I'm going to think about things for a few days before acting upon it and not letting my temper get in the way, but coming from a place of love, compassion, and understanding. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the bounty that is to come. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer.